Ah, the morning routine. A couple of hours that brings 500,000 of us out and on to Northern Ireland's roads. It's rarely the height of anyone's day.
Another day, another dollar.
Another day, another tuppence halfpenny.
Ready for another day in paradise.
It can be a time to make wedding plans.
I'm a bit frightened because probably I'll have to end up marrying you.
A time to make those final plans.
The 2 heels are kicked up. I have told her. You'll put me in a Batman suit.
And a time when all plans go out the window altogether. So buckle up, everyone, as we take you on The Commute.
Living on a prayer.
Are you sorry we drifted apart?
It's raining man. Hallelujah, it's raining man.
I'll take you home again, Kathleen.
It's all about love for this morning's commuters, and over in Carrickfergus, 11-year-old Leonardo has the whole relationship business worked out.
If I would have a relationship, I make sure it's special. I can't have like 10 special relationships. It just doesn't work like that.
If you have this special relationship and then that person grows old and dies, yeah, what stops that next relationship not being real?
Because you can't get over your last relationship.
Yes, it would take me a while. I'd probably like take 2 centuries to get over my one undying true love, but
you never know, in 2 centuries the earth might not exist.
Way to go, Leah. Cheery conversation on the way to school.
See, when I married my farmer, I just have a small wedding.
Me and her were in Balmoral show, and our eyes were like saucers looking at the young fellas, all the young farmers. Yeah, they were. Check shirts, jeans, and brown shoes. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And they're all going around looking at the massies.
I'm going to find my husband at one of the Balmoral shows. I'm not joking.
Is that why you always go?
No.
She goes every year. She loves it. She does.
I actually love it. Because I'm going to be a farmer's wife when I'm older.
I wonder if you get an alibi. Does it have to be young or old?
Same age-ish.
There's just loads of people that marry at their age.
Wrinkles.
Well, the thing about men, like, is reading an answer to that word? Men. Kill.
If tradition is not your thing, why not take a leaf out of Janet's book? It's tremendous.
I was reading a magazine. There was an article in there about a woman who had fallen in love with a tree, who was called Tim.
Tim the tree. Tim.
She wants to marry the tree. It's a true story, isn't there? Some very odd people about.
On their way to school in Newton Ards, Bethany and Emily have thought this whole wedding thing through.
What age do you want to get married at?
Like 20, I don't know, 20... Oh, I don't know, actually.
I want to get married at 21. I love that number.
It's a good number.
Oh, okay.
What made you want to propose at the age of 4?
I was stupid. I didn't have
But
a
I
brain.
assisted you. I remember getting this little
I remember
heart.
you telling me, like, oh, Leo, you should even give her a ring.
So you're dumb and you're dumber.
What did you do? Did you propose to the wife, Gordon?
Well, I did. We just had a romantic meal and I proposed.
You died on one knee?
I was in the one knee.
She helped me back up.
I wouldn't want to hold down one knee and definitely not in public. Like, I'd rather just be like driving and just be like, come on, get married. I'm like, alright.
No, up all night. I don't want that. But at the same time, I hate the thought of like a restaurant in front of loads of people. I hate the thought of somebody clapping at you.
No, but see, my thing is, if it's like, you're making a decision that you're going to get engaged, so you're going to get married. Like, I wouldn't want to be engaged just to be engaged for like 10 years of my life. Like, there's no point in that. Whereas I want to be engaged to get married.
In East Belfast, Gary is saying I don't to Catherine's I do.
Weddings are good, all those happy people getting married.
All committing themselves forever. Till death do us part. What a load of old shit.
Oh, no, I don't be... Listen, you'd love to be married.
No, I wouldn't.
You would be married in the morning.
No. Would you like to be married?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Would you? How big would the rock need to be?
I just think it's anything to do with the rock. I think we're kind of... I think we're getting too late to be quite
Yeah.
honest.
In Newcastle, Connor has an all-out equine theme for his intended.
How would you propose?
Well, I know how she would want me to propose.
Well, how would she want you to propose?
Well, she's big into horses, like, so it would have to be revolved around that somehow, in terms of getting a whole parade of them to spell out, will you marry me?
Sorry for the joke. What else would you say? No.
See, if a guy asked me to marry him in Disney, I'd cry so much.
I'll just marry like a Disney prince, like one of the fake characters.
Okay, you.
Of course, many of our commuters have already done the whole proposal thing. Just outside Randallstown, Sid is sharing his romantic side.
So, tell me how you proposed to your first wife then, lad.
Oh, the first wife? It's a tree hut.
That's...
Hung around a tree house.
Well...
There's like wee teacups, and I had a teacup, and I had a ring in it. I just says, look, blah, 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 you know, and that was it.
Lovely.
Did your husband propose to you long before you got
I
married?
was going out with my husband exactly a month when we got engaged.
Oh, my goodness, isn't that wonderful?
How did Robert propose to you, Maureen?
One night during a week, a Wednesday night or whatever, and he was moving into a new flat in Limavady, and that's where he proposed to me, in the new flat.
Yes.
And of course, I wasn't particularly, I pretended not to be eager. So I told him I needed time to think of one thing and another. So a few days later, I came back and he asked again, and then I said, well, yes. If you insist, yes, I will.
What do you do?
It's funny that.
So what did he do?
Sun was setting to the east. The waves were gently rolling, lapping against the shore. Down bended knee. Children were there.
Sort of worries me that the sun's setting in the east. I know, I was thinking about it. Surely it should have been the west. I'm entirely sure where you're at.
No, but it was my east.
Well, I worked in Uri at the time, and Ian was here and there. And he said he was coming down an evening or something. And I said, sure, it's not your evening to come down. No, I just want to come down. Why would he coming down for? I just want to come down, and I don't do surprises, as you know. Nobody can surprise me. I says, well, if you won't tell me what you're coming down for, don't bother coming down. He said, I was coming down to ask you to marry me. Right, okay, come on ahead down. And that was after 6 weeks. 28 years later.
When you know, you know. There was a couple that lived near my mother, and they had been courting, as they call it in the country. Are you going courting? And anyhow, they had been going courting for 40 years. Oh, and they met every night, and in the country, they only went for a walk. They went all round the place and down, and they walked and walked. They must have been very fit. Yeah, but would you hear? They walked and walked for 40 years. They did this. And one night, he said to her, do you know what I'm thinking, Maggie? And she says, no. He says, I think we've been walking the roads long enough. He says, I think it's time we settle down together. And that was his proposal to her to get married.
Some parents are like, come on, let's go, daughter, for a holiday to Pakistan. You're like, oh,
Make sure you leave your job and make sure you say bye-bye to all your friends.
That's right, and bring your British passport.
Make sure you bring your prettiest clothes.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I'd like you to meet...
You might find someone, or we might find someone.
Your cousin. He works in a restaurant.
First comes love, then comes marriage. But for Gary in Belfast, there's an uneasy sense of obligation.
I'm a bit frightened because probably I'll have to end up marrying you.
Well, there's always
Yeah,
that.
I mean, if I don't get you married off soon, I'll maybe feel compelled.
Yes, but it would be a charitable
yeah,
act.
yeah. I mean, and
Yeah,
I'm
you
all
just-
about the charity. We could have a good day out at least. And the flowers would be like no other.
Oh, the flowers would be like no other.
And the event styling. I mean, people would talk about it for years. Indeed, it might be in Hello Magazine.
It would.
Or in Belfast, it mightn't be in
And I
Bouchy
might-
Magazine.
And like, what about a wedding? Would you want a huge wedding?
I have 2 ideals.
Okay.
Kind of makes me like, sometimes I'd be like, no, like I don't want to be center, you know, you're going to be center of attention because you're a bride. I'm just like somewhere, you know, a 2-day thing, just not local, but just like a couple hours away, and you go down the night before and stay, like, you know, just some like nice wee cottage or something and have it like that. But then other times I'm just like, shove it in people's faces, like why not?
What better reason?
Those are the ones in work who get married. So like they've had it planned for like years and years. Whereas when Pakistanis get married, like we'll have like the space of like 35 days to arrange from the engagement till the wedding.
A lot of Pakistani people just go to find their next potential partner.
I remember it was your wedding. One of the like Asian aunties came over and was like, Arissa, seriously, show me the potentials for my son. So I was like, okay, follow me. Okay, table 4, there's 3 people. Table 5, there's 2.
It's kind of like they like organize and arrange it. You will get married to this person, and that is the end of the story.
I think marriages are maybe a good thing. A lot of people jump into marriages and relationships nowadays. You would know your child. You'd have a fair handle on who the other person was, as long as your intentions were honourable and you weren't thinking some sort of financial reason behind it.
People they don't give any kind of gifts. They just give cash, and then the Asians have an accountant counting. This guy gave us 50 quid this year. We have to give him back 50 quid. You know what the heck
Or
is that
like
all
if
about?
you gave someone 100 and then their son got married and they slipped 20 in the car. It's
Oh, wow!
Black mark.
Burn, yeah.
Our white Caucasian non-Asian
yeah,
friends
yeah.
are like, when you invite them, they're like, oh, I cannot wait to go for the cultural experience. It's going to be wonderful. And when they arrive there and find out there's a closed bar, there's no alcohol. Sorry, did I not tell you that no alcohol is being... Oh, I'm so sorry.
We have Schlur.
You know what? Everybody goes to the wedding. All everybody wants is a drink.
On a country road around Newtonards, Nathan and Robert aren't worried about who, or indeed when they get married, but rather where.
Would you not just go away to get married, or what would you do? Would you stay at home, or what would you do?
Don't know, like, I don't think I would personally go away to get married.
Nah, I don't think I would either.
I'd want, like, everybody to experience the day and have a bit
So
of
the
crack.
boys need a bit of crack.
Boys need a day out.
Need a good stag do too.
But
huh?
if you feel like going away to get married, I'm available.
Is that a hint?
You can get married in Disney.
What?
Can you actually imagine that?
I'm getting married in Disney.
Same.
I'm getting married in Disney.
Like
What
in
the
front
heck?
of a castle in Florida.
You know, that's actually my dream.
You turn up in like Cinderella's carriage and horses, like with white horses and all. That pull up.
Does it actually say that?
Yeah, it's like really expensive, obviously, but
I don't care. Like, you only get married once. Well,
hopefully.
That's not always true.
Yeah.
You know, I've been married 3 times, so
Yeah.
we just sort of rush over that. Well, the first time I got married, right, I was pregnant, and my dad said, no, you don't need to get married, but his brother said, you do need to get married. So the upshot of it was we got married. There was 5 of us at the wedding, and we went back to my nanny Edwards's, and we had fish paste sandwiches, and we had a little bit of a Victoria sponge.
Isn't that lovely?
And number 2 was... do you know what? I don't even think he proposed number 2, but anyway, we got married, and that was nice. And my third marriage, my third marriage was, I shouldn't have got married really. It was a lot longer. About a week before we got married, we had this conversation to say, really, you know, we should be getting married. This is all a big mistake. But so many people had put so much effort into it.
You had to go ahead.
We didn't feel that we could not do it.
Let them down, yeah,
So
yeah.
it lasted 3 years.
Ah, who says romance is dead? Well, Ashton over in Limavady does.
After 20 years, you have your kids up by then, right?
Yeah.
20, 21 years. There should be, once you hit that 21 mark, you say, right, and you can go. You don't have to say, I'm leaving or anything else. You can just leave. And that should be in your wedding vows. For better or for worse. Till 20 years or death do us part.
It's been a rocky road for celebrities in 2016 with the loss of so many legends. In Belfast city centre, Bilal and Arusa are lamenting.
This year, 2016, took Prince. It kept
What
Kim
is my
Kardashian.
Facebook feed?
Uh,
Did you see the thing about Kanye West?
no, what
Devastating news. He's still alive. Did you see
happened?
that? But then people find out more whenever they die. Me, myself,
Oh,
included.
that's right. You found
like
out more
David
about
Bowie.
them. David
Remember?
Bowie's music, yeah.
And then afterwards you're like, you know.
I knew
my
him
goodness.
from The Labyrinth.
I remember him from the Labyrinth, but
Yeah.
he kind of freaked me out. And then Muhammad Ali, you know, like, fair enough, you know, you remember him with his Parkinson's or whatever.
Mhm.
But then when you see the footage of him when he was like younger, he was gorgeous.
There we go. Yes.
And you're like, oh,
He had everything, didn't he? He had beauty, brains.
Ali was some boxer in his day, though, all the same.
Aye, Ali was very good. Now, he seemed to have...
cocky.
But I think he was cocky, you know, but I think he also, you know, seemed to have a good way with people too.
What was it he said? Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Aye, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Or float, maybe, lads? On the back road from Lisburn to Belfast, Jerry is killing off people that aren't even dead yet.
I was trying to figure out which one sort of affected me the most. Not that really anything should affect me, but...
Was it not Sillads that affected you the most?
Maybe. I was more sorry about...
Paul Daniels?
Paul Daniels, God, I can't stand Paul Daniels. No, I think it was...
Prince?
Was it your man Robinson? You know, used to be the leader here, the Assembly leader. Peter Robinson, is he dead?
He's not dead.
He did not have a heart attack and die.
He had a heart attack, but he didn't die.
Was he the Sinn Féin leader, Peter Robinson? I thought he was dead.
All this talk of celebrity deaths has got our commuters thinking about their own mortality.
You know, someday we'll die.
And in Yuri, a subject that's challenged some of humanity's finest.
I would like to believe,
Use
you
for
know, once you
everything.
die, you go up and you meet your family who've died and all. What do you do? Go sit have a cup of coffee with them?
I don't think they do.
No,
There's
like-
cafe in heaven.
Well, I always thought that when I died, I would go to heaven.
Mhm.
And I believed that you would join your husband.
Yeah, mhm.
Well, I've divorced 3, so which one would I meet? And to be honest, I really wouldn't want to particularly meet any of them because that's why I divorced them. So in a really serious...
Especially if they owed you a lot of money, a load of back money.
Tell you a story, sure, about my mother's belief. My granny, as soon as she died, a big smile came upon her face.
Your ma's face or her face?
She believed that was her going to another place.
Ah, well, that's
Then I said to Mummy, how do you know she was going to a good place? But she says, well, Granny was like myself. She wasn't, you know, that well behaved all the time and all, but
Oh,
she
aye.
reckons.
Yeah, she believes it.
Yeah. See, we're on the subject. What do you think happens to you after you die? Truth.
If you were a Christian man, they'd probably be thinking they're going to heaven. Well,
No,
they
I
probably
asked
are
you-
going to
I
heaven.
asked you, what do you think?
Oh, what do I think where I'm going? Into the ground.
You know what I think what happens when you die? You know when you're sleeping and you don't realise you're asleep?
Yeah.
I think it's just like that.
When as a Christian, I am not afraid of death. I think it's a normal transition that comes automatically anyway. You accept whatever state you're in, And certainly I have my will made, and they left lots of instructions as usual for my family. I've told them not to be sad, but to be thankful for the life that I had.
Growing old and I wanna go home. Growing old and I don't wanna know.
I would want a bit of a theme funeral. A favourite theme of mine would be, Ghostbusters. Can you imagine then I could come back and scare them all?
You just set up going, who you gonna call?
Yeah.
For my funeral, you can get ecological banana leaf coffins.
I love bananas too. I wonder we should get any of them in Tesco's and make your own out of the box.
So I'm going to get that, and you can only get cremated in Roselawn in Northern Ireland.
I know, but they keep saying they're going to bring one to Derry. Like, that's a good business venture. If I had the money, I would start a crematorium.
Everybody's down to get it.
They are. And see in the paper, they're down in alphabetical order.
Over to Joe and Connor in Newcastle for some classic Joe and Connor in Newcastle.
It should be an automatic opt-in. If you don't want to do it, opt out.
Opt-in,
like the donor.
Alright, yeah. Well, is it not already an automatic opt-in?
No, you have to manually opt in if you want to do it.
But it was not changed there that you're automatically opt-in and then you opt out?
No,
Is that not? I thought that's what it was.
I think it's still being talked about.
I thought that happened. No?
Pop me in the box, put down the nail, a couple of good strong nails, and that's it, job done.
And then take you up to Roselawn.
We'll have to pay for that. But
And then where would you like the ashes?
the ashes, I think, just probably down in Helens Bay Beach.
All right. And then you'll forever be there.
You just drift into the
Uh-huh,
water, just
yeah.
drift in.
Take a hell of a big tide. I want to be all coiffured and lying there in state,
Would you like
actually.
your teeth showing or not? Would you like
No.
me to close your mouth? Or would you like the big teeth? You'd be lying like this. And the big white teeth.
Like Mr. Ed.
When the two heels are kicked up, I have told her to put me in a Batman suit and to sit up at an angle. Why a Batman suit? Just in case I have to fly somewhere. Why not a Batman suit? And I've told her to make sure I'm very with my watch so I can tell the time.
Well, I mean, you have to die sometime. And when you get older, you sort of accept that. And why are we talking about death at this hour in the morning, going to work?
Because we feel like death after that weekend we've had.
Remember what I was talking this morning about Danny's funeral, and one of the children had brought up this massive photograph of Elvis, because Danny was a big fan of Elvis, so it was sort of sitting on the altar. And I had all these friends that came from Lifeline to the funeral, and one of them later on said to me, Jared, oh my God, he says, I could not believe how like your brother was to Elvis. He says he was a splitting image of Elvis. And to this day, I've never been able to say to him, that was a picture of Elvis, that wasn't him.
Okay, everyone, hands up if your mum or granny does this.
You love the death column.
No, I do not love the death column.
You love the death column.
But I've got to say, my mother reads the death column every morning. And then she will say, do you remember such and such? No. She went to your nanny's church? No. Lived off Consberg Avenue? Married to your cousin's brother's uncle's family? No. No idea. Dead.
Your mother's very funny. I get
Very
that story too.
Yes. Dead.
With me, it's a wee bit longer though. Remember him that was married on to her, that used to live around there, that used to work in the chippy with the red door, and then they used to go there, and then he was married on to her, but then they had a blue door. Mary.
No.
Oh, you know
No
Mary.
idea who you're
Dead.
talking about. No idea who you're talking. Dead.
All they ever talk about in Portadown is death. Every time I go down, my mother has a list of who's dead. Do you remember the time we were up in the graveyard with the last time? And she broke when she started at the grave, at my daddy's grave, breaking. And I thought, oh God, I'm going to die, I'm not even going to let on hear this. And then, could she stop? And then I just said to her, Mummy, are you breaking wind? But when I said it to her, she just went into hysterics laughing and broke more and broke and broke. Then she took and she run from that part of the graveyard right to the other side of the graveyard. The whole way I could see her running up, right across the graveyard, and you could hear the wind coming out of her arse the whole way up to the other side of the graveyard. It was disgusting. Like a machine gun. And all the size of her. Then she was standing at the far side of the graveyard, waving overhead as if to say, I'm not coming back, I'm embarrassed. It was like a machine gun. If it had been in 1970 something, I had a ducked.
That's enough talk about death. Let's leave this commute, and indeed the series, on a high. With their own version of a Queen classic, take it away, the Commute class of 2016.
I see a little silhouette of a man.
Scaramouche, Scaramouche, can you do the fandango?
Very, very frightening.
Galileo.
Nobody loves me.
I'm just a poor boy from a poor family.
Here we go, as we go. Bismillah. We'll not let you go. Let him go. Bismillah. We will not let you go.
Let him go, for God's sake.
We will not let you go. We will not let you go. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub is a devil put aside for me.
For me.
For me. For me.
I come over all, is it?
Oh, baby.
Just do this to me, baby. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see.
Nothing really matters.
Nothing really matters to me.
Dana, Laura.
That was a bit of crap ending, wasn't it?
Sing with now, sing for the year, sing for the laugh and sing for the tear. Sing with now, just for today.
Join local comedian Shane Todd for his brand new show on BBC Radio Ulster this week, mixing his usual topical stand-up sketches and characters. The Shane Todd Show starts tomorrow night at 10:15.